emergency preparedness. And so, can anybody tell me what emergency preparedness is? Just to raise a hand.
My 4.0 is
Preparing for emergency.
Right. So, anybody else? Anybody want to add to that? So, can somebody tell me the difference between making an assumption and making a preparation?
And I've been teaching since 1990.
Anybody? Raise a hand. Oh yeah, there's pen and papers, so you can just use it if you need to. So we'll be going over the core parts of being prepared for emergencies. And so we'll start with prevention. So what are some things you can do to prevent emergencies? And this can be any type of emergency. So from a fire to an earthquake, anything like that. Anybody?
Go over your plans.
Go over your
Don't
plans.
just make them.
All right, all right. What about anybody else? So a good feature of being preventing emergencies is being aware of your surroundings. It's very important to be aware of our surroundings. That way we are mindful of what we're doing. So many of you guys are scouts, and so there is an outdoor code that is a good way to prevent emergencies from happening. If you can prevent it, then it's better to prevent it than let it happen. So if you see something about to happen, this doesn't only apply to yourself or your house or your family, but this can apply outside as well. So if you see, let's say, that someone threw a cigarette in the trash can, then you can take action and prevent that from happening, like a fire. So it doesn't just have to be related to you or someone you know. So does anybody know what you can do to protect people from emergencies, or protect yourself?
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. Okay. Anything else? Anybody want to add on? So protection is not only of yourself, but you can protect others too. Taking actions like getting a fire extinguisher if there's a fire, that's a good one, and a fire blanket, anything like that. I'm pretty sure all y'all have heard of stop, drop, and roll. So if there's a piece of your clothing that's on fire, you can stop, drop, and roll. Response. So what's something we can do to respond if emergency is to occur?
Wait, what did you just say?
What is something we can do to respond if emergency does occur? So like a fire, earthquake, anything like that.
First thing is to get everyone to safety.
Right.
And dial 911, hello?
So 911 would be a good one. Like we were going over before, it's best not to exceed your capabilities or your skill. So if you don't think you can do it or you're not qualified to do it, then don't do so.
We don't need another person.
Yeah, we don't need another victim. Recovery, it's pretty simple. So recovery is not only of mindful to yourself, but to the others as well. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna go over situations, and then we're gonna talk about how you can prevent it. We'll just go through the whole process basically. So a home kitchen fire. So what would we do to prevent that?
Turn your stove off.
Be
Okay.
careful with the oil.
To prevent it, yeah.
Make sure your children can't get to the benefit.
Okay. What else?
Know how to cook.
Yes. Know
Be
how to
careful
cook.
with the oil.
Okay, you shut
Be careful with the oil.
All right. Be careful with the oils. All right. Anything else? Anybody want to add on? No.
Don't like put something on the stove and then just walk away.
He
Whatever.
said-
Like, watch it.
Right. All right. All right.
He said have a fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher. All right. That's a good
Baking
one.
soda.
Baking soda?
Keeping a jar of baking soda just nearby.
Mhm. That's a good one.
Yeah, have your baking soda and your fire extinguisher. Keep it close enough so that you can get to it, but not so close that if a fire were to start, you can't get to it because you would have to put your hand through the fire.
All right. Yeah. That sounds good. We're gonna move on to protection. How would we protect people or anything that's valuable, like your mom or something that's
Your money.
anything like that. So what would you do if a home kitchen fire did occur? What would you do?
Well,
Call the police. I mean,
Okay, okay. Well, what would be the first step? Like everybody's still in your house.
well, you could get everyone out.
Get everyone
Yeah,
out.
get everybody out.
and then try to put it out.
Well,
Unless
call
it's-
911.
Call 911 while trying to get people.
Alright, but what if it's a tiny fire?
well, then put it down first.
Alright. And so what can we use to put out a fire?
Well, if it's a grease fire, if you're cooking something in a skillet, then you can put like a lid on top of it,
Mhm.
and turn off the fire, and just let it sit there for a long time.
Alright, yeah. So we're gonna move on to response. What can we, if something were to happen, who would we contact? How would we respond? How would people respond?
First thing you always do is call 911 because if you're like, I'm gonna call them later after I get everything out, something could happen and you won't be able to call 911, especially if your phone goes down. So the first thing you should do is always call 911.
Alright, and what if you don't have a phone? What would you do?
Get the neighbors, scream, make noise, alert people.
Cause
No, don't cause ruckus, just make noise. You know.
Alright. Anybody else? Anybody want to add on before we move on to recovery? No? Alright. So how would we recover from this? You know, fire just occurred in your house, a home kitchen fire. How would we recover from this?
Wash the pot.
Wash the pot. Okay. What else?
Replace the stove with probably a safer stove if you're
Alright. What else? Anybody want to add on?
depending on I guess it also depends on the damage.
Yeah, it does depend on damage.
Like if the fire spread, you might have to replace the whole kitchen.
Yeah. So I guess it would depend because if
it's a certain house.
yeah, sometimes what do I call it? 911 can't get there on time, or they won't get they'll get there, but you know half of the house will already be burned. So we'll also have to think about that. So we're not going to go over all the situations. We're just going to go over the core ones. So next one would be probably automobile accident. So a car, if you were in a car accident. So what would you do to prevent that? I know most of you may not drive already, but what would you do to prevent that if you do start driving?
Just, pay attention,
Alright.
text and
You don't
drive.
have to drive.
Alright.
Don't get yourself into a situation
Don't
in
get
the
yourself
first place.
into
Alright.
Don't drive fast at night.
Alright. What else? Anybody want to add on?
Don't drive at night.
Don't
Alright.
fucking drive.
Alright. So
Use your headlights if you do.
what would we do if this did happen? So what would we do?
Get out of the car.
Alright, and what if you're stuck in the car?
You're gonna, the first thing to do is call 911 because if you pass out, you still want people to know that you need help.
I couldn't.
So what would we do if you're stuck in the car? So like say like your arm was jammed or your leg was stuck and you couldn't get out. What would you do?
Make noise.
Make noise? Alright, what else? And if there was no one around?
Try to call.
Alright, that's a good one. That's a good
Or you should have a seatbelt cutter. So
Yes.
if you can't use your tools, you're gonna make, you have to use it to break the window.
Alright. How would we respond to this? So like if somebody else got in a car accident or you were in the car accident, how would you respond to this?
Call
We'll
911.
call 911 first, so that way if something happens,
Try to rescue them.
don't go away if the car's on fire. You don't again, don't need another.
Think about it. Get help.
Like if I was the one in the car accident, I'd be panicking.
Alright.
Yeah, you might need to call.
Yeah, my cousin got in a car accident. She flipped her truck, and then she walked like a mile to my house. Her hand was cut open. Yeah, that was a traumatic experience. Anyway, it really wasn't that bad.
So how would we recover from this? You know, you were just in an automobile accident. How would you recover from this?
Hope you have auto insurance.
Yeah, hope you have auto insurance. What else?
Ask like a relative or someone you know to drive you.
So a good idea would be to go to a hospital because you don't know if you're hurt or not. If you are hurt, then it would be clear. You would have bruises or you
It
would
could be
feel.
internal bleeding. So
Yeah,
you
you
still need
could-
to get checked out.
Yeah, so you could feel any pain anywhere in your body. It's good not to assume. It's just to go. So, we're gonna go over one more, and that'll be it's gonna be a natural event. So we're gonna go over, I guess, tornado. So can't prevent a tornado, obviously.
So you can prepare for it.
Yes, you can prepare for it. So, and that's one of the best things about emergency preparedness. It's not assumptions, it's preparations. So what can we do to protect ourselves from a tornado? Right.
Stay away from windows.
Stay away from windows. That's one of the biggest ones.
Hide
So-
in your bathroom.
hide in your bathroom. Or
That is
if it doesn't have windows
have a window.
or any glass objects that might shatter, then yes, your bathroom would be good.
Does your bathroom have a
Get on the floor and start
We can
tucking your head.
Yes, tuck in your head. So schools do this all the time. If you ever did a fire drill at your school, then they teach you how to duck your head and get down. It's usually to protect your neck and the back of your head. That way.
Yeah, if your school has a bad protocol for it, like I was saying, like if there's a fire in your school's protocol or a tornado, and your school's protocol is to take you out into a fenced field and with the dry Texas grass,
Yeah.
it's not gonna end well.
My school keeps me inside when it's like
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting a little off topic. How would you respond to this? So I know we can't really like call 911 on a tornado, but
Well, you still should, because you can still get out of state though.
yeah. So you can call and you can report that there's a tornado in this area.
It also gives them the chance to warn everyone else
Yeah.
that's in it to happen.
But you can't really call the police and say, "Can you arrest that tornado? It's going live." We can't do that. So how do we? What are some other ways we respond?
Well, you have to decide if your home's a safe place to be in the tornado.
All right.
Not to evacuate.
All right. You had something?
If you're not in the direct path of it and you're not in the absolute,
It's gonna be.
death endangering path of this, you might want to notify the National Weather Service. You can text them. I have them on my phone. You can let them know and make sure that they are aware of it. And that way they can put out a warning. Some cities have a siren. When Coppers Cove was hit with their tornado, there was no warning, and Cove does not have a warning siren, but Killeen does, and some other cities do. So if you notify the National Weather Service, which if your phone is working or if you can get a message out, that would also be really helpful to the community.
Oh, and if you get a tornado warning, like, oh, there's a tornado coming, and you have enough time to leave, don't be the person that says, it might not come, and stay there. If you can leave, then it's
Right.
probably a good idea.
So going off of what she said, there are warning systems, and sometimes they do tests. Because I know in my city, I live in Killeen, so they do tests, and they just sound off the alarm every once in a while. It's like every month or so. Something around that was one. Yeah, and they're really loud, so you'll hear them from even if you're super far away. So how will we recover from this? Tornado just happened. How do we recover?
Well, help,
Get
with
help.
the
or-
debris.
Oh, you can help, or make sure your out-of-state contact is ready in case you have to go over.
Right. Okay. If there was a giant fan, then sure. Okay, that was the last one for situations. We're gonna go over one more thing, and then I think we'll be done because I think I'm running out of time. So we're gonna go over specifics. So if something happened to you, so what would you do if your clothes caught on fire? And so we
stop, drop, and roll.
stop, drop, roll. And what would you do if a structure was filled with carbon monoxide? Or basically, they don't say that when you do drills, but it's basically stuff you shouldn't breathe in. So,
Yeah, well,
so
Wet cloth and get down on the ground.
yes, get down on the
least,
ground.
like, try if you can.
And
crawl
use a
out.
wet cloth for your breath.
All right, what would you do if someone was asleep in your house and there was carbon monoxide in the structure too?
If you can wake them up, wake them up. If not, get them out if you can. But you don't even know if they're victim. If you can't get them out, then do what you can. And
Right. What if someone's drowning, like in a pool or in a lake? What would you do if someone's drowning?
If save them.
well, if you're
First lifeguard.
if you're
Well,
stuck,
that's how they're drowning.
Yeah. So,
If they're drowning close to the edge, then stay on the edge. If they're drowning out there,
then
Like, are
have
they
someone
on
that-
Call a
boxes,
lifeguard.
or are they on the top? Like,
right. So we'll go with. Obviously, if they're drowning in shallow water, you just tell them stand up. So we're gonna go with just deep water. So let's say
7 feet.
it's a lake, and it's
so
First of
you
all,
can
there
hold
should be.
bridge in with them, or
You
if
should.
they should float
Dude.
around, you can toss them the floaty.
yeah, if they
Or
freak it out,
you-
or they
If you can't,
If
do
you're very
So-
experienced
Yeah, you don't
swimmer.
wanna-
they're freaking out, they're waving their arms all over the place, and you're not close enough to reach out to them. What would you do?
Try
Tell them
to.
to stop
So-
moving.
If there's yeah, lifeguard talking, actual lifeguard talking. So if you have like a floaty, then you can bring the floaty in and swim to them. You do a guard entrance where you enter the water without having your head submerged, so you can keep eye contact with them. And then you swim over to them, give them the floaty, and pull them to shore. But you reach the floaty out towards them. You do not go in towards them. And definitely, if they're unconscious, if they're conscious and they're flailing, then you do not go near them because they will drown you.
Alright. Yeah, that's good. We go for one more specific. There's no ice in Texas. Actually, we'll just go over it. So let's just say you're on a sheet of ice, and the ice breaks, and your friend drops in. What would you do?
First thing is call 911.
Alright, yeah, you call 911.
That's all I
What would you be doing on the ice?
Yeah,
anyways?
That's what I just said. There's no ice in Texas, but we're just gonna go over it.
Well,
just
there's some people that like, some teenagers that think it's fun.
That's not smart.
Well, try to so if they're standing on it and they break through, if it's thick enough, it would be a problem because they can get trapped underneath it.
Right.
So try to get them out like ASAP, like as soon as
You crawl over there?
yeah, you crawl over there.
Right. So, we're gonna go over some stuff that you should have in an emergency preparedness kit. So there is a thing, and it's an emergency preparedness kit. It's basically comprised of things that you think you can use during an emergency, so like a first aid kit.
Like a 72-hour.
Yeah, and so what we have over
Make sure
here.
you add medicines if you need. Like if someone's like dependent on medicine, you should add that.
Right. So if you want to come over here,